Welcome to World History Automations, where we explore the intricate tapestries of our past through the lens of automation and analysis. Today, we delve into a pivotal chapter in African history, the profound and often troubling influence of European powers on the Democratic Republic of Congo. From the ruthless exploitation under King Leopold II of Belgium to the ongoing struggles for sovereignty and stability, the Congo's history has been deeply shaped by European ambitions. This video will guide you through the key events from the Berlin Conference of 1884 that set the stage for the colonization of Africa to the independence movement and the lingering effects of European interference that continue to resonate in the Congo today. Join us as we unravel the complex legacy of European colonization in the heart of Africa. Pre-colonial prosperity. Before European powers arrived, the region now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo was home to thriving kingdoms such as the Congo, Luba, and Lunda. These kingdoms had established complex societies with robust trade networks across Africa. Copper, ivory, and palm oil were some of the key commodities exchanged, and the region was relatively prosperous and self-sufficient. The scramble for Africa and King Leopold II, 1885 to 1908. However, everything changed in the late 19th century during the scramble for Africa. At the Berlin Conference in 1885, European powers divided Africa amongst themselves, and King Leopold II of Belgium claimed the vast Congo Free State as his personal possession. What followed was one of the most brutal regimes in history. Under the guise of bringing civilization, Leopold's administration imposed forced labor on the Congolese people, extracting immense wealth from rubber and ivory. This exploitation was horrific. Millions of Congolese were subjected to inhumane treatment, mutilations, and mass killings, all to meet the rubber quotas set by Leopold's regime. By the time this period ended, an estimated 10 million Congolese had died, and traditional societies were shattered. The Belgian colonial period, 1908 to 1960. In 1908, international outrage forced the Belgian government to take control of the Congo from Leopold, turning it into a colony. While the overt brutality decreased, the exploitation continued under Belgian rule. The colonial government focused on extracting resources like copper, cobalt, and diamonds, with the profits flowing back to Belgium. During this time, the Congolese people were denied access to the wealth generated by their own land. The infrastructure that was built, roads, railways, was designed solely to facilitate resource extraction, not to develop local communities. Moreover, the Belgian administration invested little in education and social services. By the time Congo gained independence in 1960, fewer than 30 Congolese had obtained university degrees, leaving the country woefully unprepared for self-governance. Independence and the Mobutu era, 1960 to 1997. Congo's independence in 1960 was chaotic. The assassination of the first prime minister, Patrice Lumumba, and the subsequent rise of Joseph Mobutu marked the beginning of a long period of instability and corruption. Mobutu, who renamed the country Zaire, established a kleptocratic regime that epitomized the exploitation of national resources for personal gain. During Mobutu's rule, he amassed billions of dollars while the country's infrastructure crumbled and public services deteriorated. His policies, including the nationalization of foreign-owned businesses, led to economic collapse and hyperinflation. Meanwhile, foreign debt accumulated, plunging Congo deeper into economic crisis. The Congo Wars and ongoing conflict, 1996-present. The situation worsened with the onset of the Congo Wars in 1996 and 1998, often referred to as the African World War, involving multiple African nations. These conflicts, which officially ended in 2003 but have persisted in various forms, were largely driven by the desire to control Congo's rich mineral resources like coltan, gold, and diamonds. These resource-fueled conflicts have perpetuated a vicious cycle. The wealth generated by these resources has not benefited the Congolese people, but has instead fueled more violence and corruption. Millions have been displaced, agriculture has been disrupted, and the country remains one of the poorest in the world. The resource curse and economic dependency. Despite being one of the most resource-rich countries on the planet, Congo has been unable to escape the so-called resource curse. This term describes how countries with abundant natural resources often experience less economic growth and more instability than those with fewer resources. Congo's economy has remained dependent on resource extraction, making it vulnerable to global commodity price fluctuations and stifling the development of other economic sectors. Corruption and mismanagement continue to plague the nation. Revenue from resources often ends up in the pockets of elites or foreign companies rather than being invested in public infrastructure, education, or healthcare. The government's inability to control the entire country and enforce law and order further exacerbates the situation. Current economic challenges and future prospects. Today, Congo remains one of the world's poorest countries, despite its vast natural wealth. Decades of conflict, corruption, and neglect have left the country with crumbling infrastructure, underfunded education systems, and widespread poverty. The challenges are immense, but there is hope. International efforts to improve governance and transparency, along with local initiatives, offer a path forward. If Congo can harness its young population, invest in education, and address the deep-rooted issues of corruption and mismanagement, there is a possibility of breaking free from this cycle of poverty and exploitation. But it will require sustained effort and a genuine commitment from both the Congolese people and the international community. The economic crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo is the result of a long history of exploitation, conflict, and mismanagement. From the brutal colonial era under King Leopold II to the modern-day challenges of corruption and conflict, Congo's wealth has been both a blessing and a curse. Understanding this history is crucial as we look for ways to support Congo's development and help its people achieve the prosperity they deserve. Thanks for watching and stay airy. Until next time, goodbye.